Okay, so as we did earlier, we were talking about isometry is a metric maps that preserve distance, and conformal maps are those maps that preserve angles, but make it a little more clear. We can say that we make it f from S1 to S2 or a little more precise. We don't want any map like that. We will make it a little precise. A diffeomorphism f from S1 to S2 is conformal if f preserves angle at every point of S1. So essentially what it says is that take any point P on this and look at any two curves and look at take its angle between them and look at the image of the two curves and look at the angle between them. That should be the same as the angle between the given curve. So then we say that it preserves angle between the curves. In fact, one thing I wanted to mention, if S1 equal to S2, look at a surface and look at all maps from S1 to S2 that preserves angles, then it forms a group easily, because composition of two diffeomorphisms is a diffeomorphism, and composition of two conformal maps is a conformal map, and the inverse of a conformal map is also a conformal map. So in other words, the set of all conformal maps of a surface forms a group. Of course, identity is the standard, just the identity map that also preserves the angles. So therefore, that forms a group. So is isometry, though I forgot to mention, a set of all isometries of a surface to itself will also form a group under composition of maps, because the composition of two isometries is an isometry, the inverse of an isometry is an isometry, and identity map is always an isometry, so that takes care of everything. So the isometry group will be, just now we saw isometries always preserve preserve angles, so therefore the isometry group is contained in the conformal group, the group of conformal maps. Okay, so anyway, so now what kind of condition that you may have to impose? So if you look at that expression, to find the angle between them, what you should know is the first fundamental form. Then what you do, E u1 dot u2 dot plus f u1 dot v2 dot plus v1 dot u2 dot plus g v1 dot v2 dot divided by the norm that you write, which will have square root of E u1 dot square plus 2f u1 dot v1 dot plus g v1 dot square into root of the same thing for E u2 dot square, etc., etc. In the sphere case, the advantage was, there was an r coming common to both the numerator and denominator. We could cancel that r square, but that may not normally happen. So you will have the other one will be some e tilde u1 dot u2 dot, etc., etc. Then you have f tilde, you have g tilde, etc. And if I want these two expressions to be equal, the thing that you should understand is, if I may not have an r now to compare, but if I have a factor that I can take common from, the u dot square v dot u dot v dot is, you cannot disturb that. So what is left out is the coefficients E, F, G on one side, E tilde, F tilde, G tilde on side in the numerator. If I can take a common factor outside, of E, F, E tilde, F tilde, G tilde. And the same common factor under square root, if I get root each and take out, then you can cancel. In fact, that's exactly the condition. If that happens, obviously the two expressions become same. So if you are right, E tilde is equal to some H into E, and F tilde is equal to H into F, and G tilde equal to H into G, where H is positive, of course. Then you have H into E, F, G expression comes. Here H, root H into root H you take out. So you have H, cancel, the two expressions are equal, so the angle is preserved. So if that happens, that means if, so proposition is, if there exists, some function, okay, so some H, of course, all these depend. This is the tricky part of it. I mean, that's something that one has to look at it. Everything depends on the computation depends completely on the sigma that you take. Okay, the what is that, parameterization. So what will happen if you change the parameterization? You should ask this question. Actually, it should not change. Okay, I mean that needs some computation. So let me say, if there is a function, remember this the common factor that you take out, that varies from point to point. So what you have is a function h from u to r, a real valued function, such that your E tilde is equal to E tilde at every point. I mean, I should be a little precise. This is equal to H uv EUV. Same number. This is a real number. This is also a real number. Okay. Then F tilde at any point UV is equal to H UV F UV. Same H. That's the important thing. And otherwise, anyway, you can always find. That is not the issue. And G tilde at any point UV is equal to H UV G UV. Now you see that at every place those expressions, you take this H common outside and H will be there in the numerator. Denominator, there is a root H from here, there is a root H from here. But I can say this so that you will not get into any kind of zero issue, and you will also not get into square root becoming plus or minus business. If it is always already positive, then when you take from the root outside, it is going to be uniquely determined as H itself. So you can cancel them. So the numerator and numerator for E tilde, F tilde, G tilde expression of the angle on the codomain and the expression for angle in the domain, they are going to be same. Because this common factor, you cancel the numerator, you have an H, denominator you have an H, cancel it, then the expression is same. Therefore the angles are same. This is the idea. So if you can get this, and the theorem is that this is necessary and also. Okay, so it has to come. So F from S1 to S2, of course this is a diffeomorphism. S1, S2 are regular, nice, smooth surfaces, and is conformal if and only if for any, so it's a little strong condition, for any parameterization or surface patch, that means that everywhere the surface patch may not cover the whole surface, doesn't matter, this should happen. Sigma from U to S1, we have S1, there is a function R plus such that this happens, where of course standard you have to expand. What is the only thing now left out is what is E tilde is a standard thing, where E, F, G and E tilde this is not a standard terminology, but I am just see simplicity, are the first fundamental form, triples. First fundamental form triples associated with sigma and F composite sigma. So that means the first fundamental form associated with sigma is E du square plus 2F du dv plus G dv square. And the first fundamental form associated with F composite sigma is E tilde du square plus 2F tilde du dv plus G tilde dv square. I just made a mention earlier, so I am just writing. So if these two we have, then the word used is that one is a multiple of the other by a function, or you call it, they are proportional is the word used in the, so you have like this, E very quickly saying E tilde F tilde G tilde is equal to H times E F G. That's what. All these are now defined on same H on U. So at every point U, this triple, these two are equal. It's in a more elaborate way I have written, the meaning, rather than just saying that. So this is what happens. As three functions, this triple functions, these two are same, evaluated.
To use this, it will still be true that if you find one parameterization.
Oh, no, not enough. Actual result is, it should be true for all parameterizations. It is true, but one parameterization is enough to prove the necessity.
And you try to apply it.
Yeah, but then the question is, which is that parameterization? Because you take an arbitrary parameterization, can I do it? That's the thing. Okay, so it's not difficult to make out that. So that's why I wrote for any parameterization. In fact, to make things very easy, for every parameterization, sigma from U to S1, F composite sigma is also going to be a surface patch on parameterization, or every surface patch is better because it may not be the whole. Any surface patch, because this may not be the whole surface. So F composite sigma sigma is going to be a surface patch on S2. So you can, those are easy. Then you can compute the first fundamental forms. And if you can say that there is a function with respect to which this is scalar to get this, then we are done. Remember, H is a function. So at every point you get different, because this is a function, so it varies from point to point, so you get it. Okay. So this is, it's not a difficult thing, because we have already seen how this gives you. One part is quite simple, because we have already seen the two expressions. If there is an H, take H in the numerator outside, and root H and root H from the denominator, cancel it, you get it. Okay. So at least that part we can easily get rid of. Suppose F satisfies, I think we'll come to that later, because this is the motivation was from the example we saw, or just the expression for the angle. So we have seen in the motivation that we could cancel a common factor. That's exactly what we are doing. There is a common factor, same common factor on the numerator and denominator, cancel it, so you have the same expression. This is what we have to. So, but the converse is a little computation, really, complicated expressions. So let us look at probably the other side. Suppose what is the best way? This suppose let me call this given condition. Suppose that I don't write everything. for every blah 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 up to this F composite sigma. Okay, so this is true. That means for every parameterization you can get a corresponding scalar valued function. This is the one that scales the to scale it, first fundamental form, the relation. There is a positive real valued function satisfying this condition, then it is an isometry. That's quite clear. Then, okay, let gamma 1, gamma I think I make a little shortcut, sigma UIT VIT, so be a I is equal to 1 to t, 1, 2. These are the two curves that goes to, you can even, you have to show that the angle between them, it should be conformal. So let us fix a point P in S1 and Q, we may not use it very explicitly, but let us say Q in FP, Q is equal to FP. So angle between them and this such that gamma I T naught is equal to P. So the angle, they intersect at P, and let us look at the angle between these two. So the let theta be the angle between gamma 1 and gamma 2. That means at P where they intersect. We are only worried about that. So that is given by cos theta. Cos theta is equal to, we already have this expressions. Cos theta is E u1 dot u2 dot plus f u1 dot v2 dot plus u2 dot v1 dot plus g v1 dot v2 dot divided by square root of that expressions. Okay, so E u1 dot square plus 2f u1 dot v1 dot plus g v1 dot square into E u2 dot square plus 2f u2 dot v2 dot plus g v2 dot square. And let us take gamma I tilde is equal to f composite gamma I. So that is in the second, in S2. So in S2, the first fundamental form is here. So let us look at the angle between let theta tilde, we don't know what is the angle, theta tilde be the angle between gamma 1 tilde and gamma 2 tilde at of course Q, at the point Q, that's equal to f gamma T naught, whatever it is, Fp. Okay, so how do we compute? Again, then write cos theta tilde, same expressions. Remember, now this is also sigma tilde, so this is sigma tilde UIVI, that's equal to, this you can write, what is F composite, this gamma I, that is sigma F composite. So I can rewrite it for you. This is F composite. Gamma I is sigma this. So F of sigma I, F of sigma UIT VIT, and that is also written as sigma tilde UIT VIT. F composite sigma is nothing but sigma tilde, and associated to sigma tilde we have the first fundamental form. So take the expression. So this is going to be E tilde, the other things are unchanged. Ui tilde, u1 tilde, v tilde is the same curve in the base domain. So you have, so you have two surfaces somewhere, I should tell. So this is your surface and this is your another surface and this is your f. So this is your domain u, and you are talking about, this is u1t, u2t, v1t, this is u2t, v2. Its image is here taken as gamma 1, gamma 2, and its image here is taken as gamma 1 tilde, gamma 2 tilde. So gamma 2 tilde is nothing but the image of same ui, vi. This is u1t, v1t, this is u2t, v2t. So you can just ignore this. F composite sigma brings it here. So sigma tilde. So this is u1 dot v1 dot plus f u1, u1 dot u2 dot. Did I make error? No. F tilde u1 dot v2 dot plus u2 dot v1 dot. Those are the same curves. That's what. You can see that. Where is it? Yeah, here. I'm just looking at this. That's all. So just take the first fundamental form here. We took first fundamental form associated sigma. Now we are taking first fundamental form associated sigma tilde. Plus g v1 dot v2 dot divided by g tilde. Thank you. Root of E tilde u1 dot square plus 2 f tilde u1 dot v1 dot plus g tilde v1 dot square into square root of E tilde u2 dot square plus 2 f tilde u2 dot v2 dot plus g tilde v2 dot square. Now let's say it says that there is a function, positive function h, such that E tilde is equal to he, f tilde is equal to hf, g tilde equal to h g for all the points, but in particular we are only interested in evaluating at this point t naught, this point. That's why I did not give any evaluating point. All these are evaluated at t naught or u t naught, v t naught in case the function. So this is equal to, so I am not going to, because it becomes everything u1, t naught, etc. you put, it will become too long an expression. So I have just avoided simplicity. So this is he, this is he, this is hf, this is hg. So you can take the h common. This is exactly what that we were talking. So if you take an h outside, then this is u1 dot u2 dot plus f. There is an h here. After this is he, this is hf, this is hg. So h is common. So take out. So you have e f u1 dot v2 dot plus u2 dot v1 dot plus this is hg, so h is taken out, so g v1 dot v2 dot, all these evaluated at that respective point. Now there will be a root h here and there is going to be a root h from here, so there is going to be h again. So root of, this is he, so that one root h is taken, another root h is taken, and important that h is a positive function, therefore you have root h into root h is h, not plus or minus h, we don't know, we don't have to worry. So u dot square, u1 dot square plus 2f u1 dot v1 dot plus g v1 dot square into square root of the other one, norm of the other. So that is e. Already both the root h I have taken and written it here. So e u2 dot square plus 2f u2 dot v2 dot plus g v2 dot square, and this is exactly cancelling. See, h is non-zero, h is positive, so it is non-zero, and therefore you can cancel throughout anywhere, because everywhere h at u comma v, everywhere it is positive, so you cancel, you get cos theta. That means cos theta delta tilde is the same as cos theta, so it is a, in fact this is what roughly I said before I wrote, so I am just rewriting what I said. So if they are, there is one common factor for this, that would exactly the one that you give, EFG, this factor will give EFG, then you can, it's a common multiple, in fact. E tilde, F tilde, G tilde is a multiple of EFG, then we are done. So that's what we did. So now for the converse, namely, if f is an isometry, then there is a function making what is that, your first fundamental form coefficients are proportional to the first fundamental coefficients of the first one. So this is what we have. So it's a constructive proof to actually produce what h that you have to get. Okay. So for that, okay, let us start that. Let f be an isometry. And let us start with some parameterization, and sigma from u to s1 be a surface patch, and everything else that we already have, surface patch. Well, we can fix, because we have to now construct these functions. It's okay, it's going to be a very general construction, so it's doesn't matter, isometry. We can start with a point in S and surface patch such that P is in sigma u in the image, so no issue. So P is equal to, you can say u naught, v naught. So let me draw the picture again. So you have the surface, okay, you also have another surface, that's your, this is your F, and surface patch, let me draw this is your U, and this is your sigma. So you have a point u naught, v naught here. We already had all these pictures, but it's always good to redraw. And that's mapped to a point P here, and this is mapped to a point Q here, fine. And look at curves, two curves here, their images are going to be here, and then apply F, you get its image like this, okay. So this is u1 v1, this is u2 v2, this could be gamma 1, this could be gamma 2, and this could be gamma 1 tilde, this is gamma 2 tilde, which is F composite. All those, let's keep it. Now, I would probably be a little reserved in this matter, okay. So all those other notations, E, F, G for this, and here you have the triple E tilde, F tilde, J tilde. We take the notations given in the statement, so we don't need to again rewrite all that. So now what we are going to, we have to measure these angles. So what is given is that, yeah, F is an isometry. That's the only thing we know. So let's first do this. Very standard kind of two curves we take. One is of course parallel to x-axis. This is in xy plane. So look at the curve gamma 1. So special curves. Yeah, now I have to be careful. Gamma 1t is the one that is parallel to x-axis. So it is. It can be written as u naught plus t v naught. So x-axis you move, v naught, the V naught is a constant, so it's parallel to x-axis. And the next one is, that is, take a line that makes angle theta with the x-axis. So that will be, what will be the equation? Gamma 2t is equal to, so the equation is going to be u naught plus, what you do is t cos theta v naught plus t sin theta. So the angle made is cos theta sin theta, so theta will be, is the angle made here, okay. So you can see at 0, 0, this is going to be u naught v naught. At 1, this is going to be u naught v naught plus cos theta sin theta. Cos theta sin theta is exactly this, unit length one. Okay, so the line joining these two will be the line. So two points, u naught v naught and u naught plus cos theta v naught plus sin theta. U naught plus cos theta v naught plus sin theta is going to be a vector. It's a vector at this point, and this is going to be angle theta. You can imagine it as at origin, then you can easily see with u naught v naught 0, then this will be, immediately you can see. And t, of course, so it's joining this point and u naught plus cos theta, u naught plus sin theta. So that's the line, okay. So these two, so let's write down, and of course, remember this theta, but here we don't know what is the angle. Okay, that is not clear. Sigma is not an isometry. So the angle here we don't know what it is. This angle we don't know, but we only know that if this is phi, okay, then this is also going to be phi because f is an isometry. Okay, so angle, so let us say let phi be the angle, but we don't have to write, I am not going to look at that. So let us write down the angle between gamma 1 dot and gamma 2 dot. Conformal. Oh, did I say isometry? Oh, I'm sorry, I made an error. Be conformal. Conformal only. No, not isometry. I'm sorry. I'm making error in saying that. So it's a conformal map. The angle between gamma 1 and gamma 2 is the same as angle between gamma 1 tilde and gamma 2 tilde. By the way, notations I should fix. Gamma I tilde is equal to F composite gamma I. Oh, this is sigma of that. Okay, gamma is the image of these curves. So sigma of this, that is gamma 1 and gamma 2, are sigma of this line and sigma of this line. By the way, this line, full line may not be inside you, but certainly a small neighborhood is inside. That is enough for computational purpose. So frankly speaking, there is some epsilon ball around it. That means minus epsilon less than t less than epsilon. That's enough for us. So that at this point, it will be u naught v naught, and there is an epsilon ball around it, properly chosen, because it's an open set. U naught v naught is inside, so there is an epsilon ball around it, fully contained in that. Just stick to that epsilon ball. It may be more than, but for differentiation you need only that much. We are not interested in its behavior outside. At 0 only we need. Okay, so this is also done. So now let us look at the angle between gamma 1 dot and gamma 1 and gamma 2. So that is going to be, well, before that I want to look at this. What is gamma 1 dot? Gamma 1 dot is going to be, because you have to be more than, yeah. So if I want to write these two, so this is going to be u1t. If we want to imitate what we have done earlier, the formula, so u1t is u naught plus t, and v1t is v naught, that's constant. So u1 dot and v1 dot we can immediately write. So u1 dot is equal to 1 and v1 dot equal to 0. Well, this is a constant, this is just u naught plus t, so it's 1, done. But u2 we have to be careful. So this is written as sigma u2 v2, u2t v2t. So u2t is equal to u0 plus t cos theta. I mean you must understand this formula is just two variable analytic geometry that you do in school, nothing else. Okay, so I have just taken that. And v2t is equal to v0 plus t sin theta. Okay, theta is fixed. Okay, theta is fix a theta, so theta is in R. Any real number we can do that. So all around, you can get all curves, all straight lines passing through u0 v0, you can get like this. And unit speed in that sense, you can see that the speed is going to be unit. So let us write down. So u2 dot, what will you get? u2 dot at t is just cos theta, and v2 dot sin theta. Now you can see why I said it's unit speed. So here all unit speed straight lines passing through origin, we get it. But that's not very important for us because this speed is not our concern. Now let us write down angle between gamma 1 dot and gamma 2 dot. So that will be, by the way, this expression I am going to use, so I am not going to come back to that. E u1 dot square, u1 dot, sorry, E u1 dot u2 dot. So you get E cosine theta plus F u1 dot v2 dot plus v1 dot u2 dot, that goes to 0. So you will have sin theta, F sin theta plus G v1 dot v2 dot, but v1 dot is 0, so G is not there. Very good. So we are happy, at least one term less we need to worry. Divided by, of course, square root of those. That expression there is no way but to write. What is that expression going to be? E1 dot u1 dot square, so E dot E u1 dot square is 1, no problem, plus F 2F, let us see, I don't think that term will come, 2F, because both terms you will have v1 dots, so it will disappear, 2F u1 dot v1 dot, but v1 dot is 0, plus G v1 dot square, so in both places you have v1 dot, so it disappears, so you have E square root of E into square root, so I can write here itself, no, just bracket, so that you don't have to put two square roots. But let us look at the next one. The next one is E u2 dot. So E cos square theta plus, next is F, what do you get, let's see. Oh yeah, this is, 2F, you don't need that, correct. 2F u2 dot v2 dot, so cos theta sin theta, 2F cos theta sin theta plus sin square theta G sin square theta, all ulta written because scalars first, function, anyway these are all functions, real valued functions, they are not, but it's okay. But it's always better, right? Like, because if you write cos theta and something else, then you get confused whether theta E is also part of sine. So this is okay. This is equal to, now for the other one we can rewrite, it's exactly same expression except replace all E and F and G by E tilde, U tilde, F tilde. So let me rewrite here, that's equal to E tilde, what is that thing, cos theta plus f tilde sin theta divided by root of E tilde cos square theta plus 2 f tilde cos theta sin theta plus g tilde sin square theta. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so now we need to simplify them. This is a little bit of trick to get the function. First, of course, you cross multiply the two. So this into square root of that expression. So I'm not going to write them, but I'm just saying E etc. into square root of this is equal to this expression E tilde etc. into square root of that. You cross multiply, you get that. Now you square it. Okay, this is a classical way of doing. So you will have this square into this expression. So this is E. So this expression of E tilde blah 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 blah. So E tilde this square into expression E into, so this E tilde into etc. So this is what you are getting. Instead of writing all those things, let's see what do we ultimately get. So that is what I wanted to check. Okay. So what we have is this complicated expression here. What we would like to have is this complicated expression here, but here it is using E tilde, here it is using E. So this expression can you get from here? That is the question. Okay. If there is some adjustments can be done, we will do it. So let us look at this expression. So its square is what is coming here. The square of this you have to compare with this guy itself, because this is the one that is going there. So if you compare this, let us see what is the square of this. What will you get? E square, this is E square cos square theta plus 2EF cos theta sin theta plus EG sin square theta. Now here what do you get when you square E square cos square theta? Done. We have. Then 2EF cos theta sin theta. Done. No problem. Then what you have? F square sin square theta. So you have an F square sin square theta, but here you have G sin square theta. So what do? You add a G sin square theta and subtract that. So that subtracted factors we get the other way. So cross multiplying square and squaring we get multiplying and squaring we get. So this is nothing simple you can do. So I will have to write this E square cos square theta plus 2EF cos theta sin theta plus what you have is F square sin square theta. So this F square, okay, sin square theta into this will come here, because you're cross multiplying and that will come here. So what is that? This is going to come there. So what will be that? E tilde square cos square theta plus 2 E tilde F tilde cos theta sin theta plus E tilde is here, I cannot avoid it, G tilde sin square theta. Okay, after squaring. This is after I have written after squaring. The other one is just the interchanging of interest. So this will be E tilde square cos square theta plus 2 E tilde F tilde cos theta sin theta plus F tilde square sin square theta into, this will be all E's. E cos square theta plus 2 EF cos theta sin theta plus EG sin square theta. Okay. So,
E squares. E square cos square.
this is E square. Yes, E square cos square theta to EF plus EG sin square theta. Okay, so now the idea is I want to push exactly the same terms here. If you have to push exactly the same terms, these two terms are common. So what is left out is you need this term here, EG sin square theta. So you add and subtract. Okay, and then like terms you cancel. So what is going to be left out? The subtracted term will be left out. So this gives, I can only orally say here because it makes no sense in keep on. So what will you do? You will have plus EG sin square theta minus EG sin square theta. And similarly here, what will you do? Same thing. Plus E tilde G tilde sin square theta minus E tilde G tilde sin square theta. So we have only added and subtracted similar terms here. You push this here. Similarly, you push this one here. Okay. So this, up to this, everything gets cancelled and this will be left out both the sides. So we get F square minus EG sin square theta. Sin square theta I can outright, but this term remain as it is, don't forget that. So that is E tilde square cos square theta plus 2 E tilde F tilde cos theta sin theta plus E tilde G tilde sin square theta. Okay, that is into, of course, I forgot, there is a common factor sin square theta I didn't write. Let me write here. There is a reason why I write here, I'll tell you. Instead of writing here, I just wrote there, that's all. And the right hand side, what will you get? Again, same terms. So it will have F tilde square minus E tilde G tilde sin square theta. That I will write later. And this will be these terms. E square cos square theta plus 2 EF cos theta sin theta plus E tilde G tilde sin square theta. I'm sorry, EG sin square theta. The whole thing into again a sin square theta. Now, this is true for all thetas. Okay, and actually points also not important. Any point UV, this you can do. There is nothing. You can fix any point at any point, but right now we have fixed U0 V0. So let's not worry about it because we are going to find H at that point, and then we will see at other points, general. So now I want to say something. These two expressions, if sin square theta is not equal to 0, then I can cancel sin square theta. So except at theta equal to 0 and pi, the two sides are equal. So I am cancelling it, assuming for every theta not equal to n pi. It's not a big condition, I will come back to that, not an issue. So right now let us assume theta is not equal to n pi, so that we can cancel these two. Okay. So now what we do for particular cases of theta, we will just evaluate and see. Okay. So let us look at a simple thing. What is required is, I have to make this sense for all that. Okay, so when I cancel, I said I cancel it for two expressions when it is, but look at these two expressions. Let me come to that because I need that. Look at these two expressions. These are all continuous functions. These functions are all continuous at every point. Okay, and for every theta. Now, for theta not equal to 0, I can cancel. So the two continuous functions, let us say for theta, because u0, v0 we have fixed. The only thing that varies here is theta. Now, two continuous functions defined on R two functions defined on R are continuous except at the points n pi. Then they have to be continuous even at n pi by density of the complement. So therefore, this I can cancel irrespective of any theta because of continuity. Okay, they have to be equal even when theta is equal to n pi, because the two functions are continuous, cosine, sine, that's the only thing involved. They are continuous irrespective of your theta. So therefore, these two expressions are equal for every theta. Okay. So because that is required for me, because I can't say not equal to theta because I am going to use theta here now. Now we take theta equal to 0, what do you get? If theta equal to 0, we get so before getting even into that, I think the function that we are going, so define, so now we are almost ready. So define h at any point uv. And right now we have taken it u0, v0, it's irrelevant. So let me write u0, v0, but that u0, v0 you can vary, you get the same expression. So I want to write E tilde in terms of this, right? In terms of E. So then I will write f tilde square minus E tilde g tilde divided by maybe square root is required, in that case we will take it. This is, so I want to write E tilde in terms of that, so that's better. F square minus Eg. This is the function, but you have to be a little careful. First, this is, if you remember this is actually, this computation we have done earlier. This computation, this quantity is, if you remember, this is norm sigma u cross sigma v square divided by, this is norm of this is sigma tilde u cross sigma tilde v. This is sigma u cross, this we have, I have computed earlier. This is a very important thing. The determinant of that matrix that we had, which we have computed, it is, of course, determinant will be Eg minus f square, right? So it is written the other way, but you can change it because both of them have the same sign. So you can always write it like this. Now there are two things to be observed. One, of course, this is non-negative. But more than that, this can never be 0 because your sigma is a regular parameterization. So this can never be 0. F composite this also will not be, because we have proved that, but I am just telling that is not used here. So therefore this expression makes sense at every point. And this, now if you vary u and v, this is a smooth function. Not only, I mean, we said there is a function, but now we are saying actually what you are getting is a smooth function. This is a, so h is defined from u to r, r plus. Now both of them cannot be 0. Denominator cannot be 0, ensures that this function is well defined, and numerator both are non-zero, so therefore it is a positive function. So what we have is a positive quantity. Okay, after having done this, now let's define the function h. So the idea is we want to get those expressions e tilde, f tilde, g tilde in terms of e, f, g. So take one in the numerator, take an e tilde outside. Right hand side, take the e outside and pull all of them together. So you have h, u, v, u naught, v naught to start with right now, but that's an arbitrary point, is going to be because okay, you transfer that to here, so your numerator will be for a nicety of expression, okay, let me write it like this: f tilde square minus e tilde g tilde. Then you also have one common factor of e you can take outside, divided by, from there you bring the other part, f square minus eg. Again one e tilde is taken out. This is the expression. If necessary, we will take the square root, but before that I want to know, this is certainly a real valued function, no doubt, but even before that, this is of course e tilde. E tilde is by definition norm of sigma tilde u square, but sigma tilde is a base vector. Sigma tilde u, sigma tilde v spans the tangent space. That is the definition of a surface parameterization, and therefore this has to be always greater than 0. And this guy we have already seen this expression f square minus eg. So that's a little tricky because it must be eg minus f square. Okay, f square minus eg is actually norm of sigma u cross sigma v. Of course, you can, both places you have minus sign here, so you can, so this is very strictly speaking, that expression is actually equal to, the denominator is, there is a minus sign, sigma u cross sigma v square, e is equal to norm of, oh no, this is tilde, and this is equal to norm of sigma u square divided by, this is norm of sigma tilde u cross sigma tilde v square into norm of, this is sigma u, denominator is sigma u cross sigma v square into sigma tilde u square. So now that's exactly what this HUV is. Remember, this is the cross product, that is non-zero because these two are linearly independent. This is a base vector, so it's non-zero, so this is also non-zero. Similarly, denominator, both are non-zero because this is a base vector, so cannot be zero vector. These are two linearly independent vectors in R3, so therefore cross product is non-zero. So all these are positive, therefore this is positive. So your h, this will be evaluated at any point. Right now we have taken it u naught v naught, but u naught v naught is very arbitrary. So this is not only it's positive, it's also smooth. Now you vary this expression, this defines a smooth function on the domain HUV. So h is from u to r plus is smooth. That's very good. And our original expression is going to become something like this. That is, so if it is taken out, so it is E tilde cos square theta plus 2 f tilde cos theta sin theta plus g tilde sin square theta is equal to, now all these expressions are taken right hand side, h times you have E cos square theta plus 2f cos theta sin theta plus g sin square theta. So that's what you get. Now very simple, you know, what is it, computation gives you all those. So let us first take theta equal to 0. If when theta equal to 0, this is true for all thetas. This expression is true for all thetas, we have seen that. So now if theta equal to 0, what will happen? These two terms go, these two terms go, so you will have E tilde is equal to H E. Again, at present U naught B naught, but that is general. Similarly for the last one, if when theta equal to pi by 2, then this cos thetas go, so you will have only sin square theta, that's 1. So you will have left hand side g tilde and right hand side hg. That is also done. Now of course mixed ones. So the best way is take pi by 2 so that pi by 4, so that both these will be 1. So we are done. So when, and then apply this theta equal to pi by 4. This is standard, we have already seen earlier how to manage such equations and get what we want. 3 variables, 3 values you put, you get it. So pi by 2, what will you get? Left hand side is E tilde, cos theta and sin theta are 1. So no problem. So, or cos theta and sin theta are going to be 1 by root 2. Okay. So you will have a half. So here, okay, I'll take that half, because there is a square. This is plus 2f, again half, so that I have taken out. Oh, these are all tilde. Plus this is g tilde, that is also 1 by root 2 square, so half. That is equal to, right hand side exactly same way, h E plus 2f plus g. There is a half again here. So first let us cancel half. So that is done. Now you know E tilde is equal to HE. So you can cancel them. Similarly, J tilde is equal to HG. Cancel that. So you have 2f tilde is equal to h times 2f. So you can cancel that 2. So you have f tilde is equal to hf. And that's the result. But involved in computation, but it's not all that bad. Okay.